We're in this together. While so much of this journey felt intensely personal, the storms inside my mind, the battles within my body, I quickly learned I wasn't walking this path entirely alone. This next section is all about the we in the journey, the incredible, complex, and absolutely vital role of connection. Here, I reflect on the immense power of love from family and friends, the practical ways people can and sometimes struggle to help, the delicate dance of asking for support while maintaining boundaries, and the deep gratitude I felt for my dedicated care team. Navigating these relationships became as much a part of my healing as any treatment. The power of loved ones, that deep well of gratitude I found inside myself, born from rediscovering simple things, was profoundly tied to another powerful realization. I wasn't facing this alone. That knowledge became a bedrock. In a situation where so much felt uncertain and terrifying, knowing that hands were reaching out, that hearts were invested in my well-being, that people were willing to walk alongside me through this uncharted territory, that was an immense grounding force. It didn't erase the fear, but it fundamentally changed the experience of carrying it. It's a strange and potent thing, really, to become the center of such intense care and concern. Part of me felt deeply humbled and overwhelmingly loved in a way I hadn't anticipated. It was like seeing the invisible threads of connection that held my life together suddenly illuminated, strong and vibrant. This outpouring confirmed my place in the world, my value to others, in a way nothing else could. But I also confess, the sheer weight of all that focused emotion, the worry in their eyes, the constant checking in, the sheer presence of their concern, could sometimes feel like too much. There were moments I craved normalcy so badly that even positive attention felt like a heavy blanket on a warm day, a reminder of the very situation I desperately wanted, just for an hour, to forget. It created a confusing push-pull inside me, deep gratitude for the love, coupled with an occasional, exhausting need for space from the intensity of it all. What truly anchored me, time and again, were the quiet demonstrations of profound effort from my loved ones. It wasn't just what they did but the way they did it. I saw the patience etched on their faces as they deliberately slowed their walking pace to match my shuffling steps, never making me feel rushed or inadequate. I felt the immense love behind their tolerance when my own frustration or fear spilled out in sharp words or sudden tears during those acute mood swings. They somehow absorbed it, understood it wasn't them I was angry with, and offered quiet comfort instead of reaction. My spouse especially became this incredible anchor, navigating her own fear and uncertainty while managing so much, creating a space of steadfast support around me. Witnessing this quiet heroism, this willingness to share the burden not just practically but emotionally, was deeply moving. I knew she had her own fears too, her own anxieties about our future, which made her strength for me feel like an extraordinary gift. Gradually, I started to understand the interplay of our emotional states, especially with my spouse, but also with those I love most dearly. It was like an invisible current flowing between us. When I could find it within myself to share a genuine smile, to express hope, to focus on a small positive instead of the overwhelming negative, I could literally see the relief wash over my spouse's face and sense it in the reactions of my closest family. It felt like giving them permission to let go of some of their worry, just for a moment, and their relief, their returned smiles, their lighter energy, it all flowed right back to me, easing my own burden, making me feel profoundly less alone in my struggle. It wasn't about pretending. It was recognizing how deeply our emotional well-being was intertwined and that my own efforts towards positivity could bring a shared strength to us all. This deep connection, however, demanded a new level of communication, one that felt raw and vulnerable. I had to learn to speak my truth, even when it was difficult. Overcoming years of perhaps hiding vulnerability or not wanting to impose meant pushing past embarrassment and the fear of being a burden. I needed to be able to say, honestly, I'm scared today, or I'm feeling really low, and trust they could handle it. Equally important, I had to learn to voice my limits, saying thank you so much for offering, but right now I just need some quiet time. Or I really appreciate you wanting to visit, but I don't have the energy today, maybe tomorrow. Wasn't easy at first, like I might offend their kindness. But I realized it wasn't about pushing people away, it was about managing my energy and emotional state so I could keep going. It required immense trust, and building that level of open, honest dialogue was a process, but it was absolutely essential for navigating this together. And often, the most powerful support came not through words or grand actions, but through small, simple gestures that spoke directly to the heart. A hand squeezed at the right moment, my spouse patiently sitting with me, maybe doing a simple puzzle together just to share quiet space without needing conversation when my brain felt foggy. That handmade good luck bracelet that appeared before surgery, a tangible symbol of good wishes. A small, crafted plaque with my name and a positive thought, sitting where I could see it daily. These weren't huge interventions, but they were deeply human, grounding acts of connection. They cut through the medical jargon, the fear, the isolation, and reminded me that I was still me, still loved, still seen beyond the diagnosis. Going through this fire definitely brought relationships into sharp, sometimes painful, focus. The people who truly mattered, the ones capable of that deep, quiet, patient support, they shone like beacons. Their presence felt like bedrock, unwavering, and true. I learned very quickly who my real people were. But alongside that beautiful realization came a harder one. Not everyone I thought was a friend truly was. Some people disappeared. Others offered shallow platitudes or seemed uncomfortable, unable to handle the reality of the situation. It was disappointing, sometimes hurtful, to realize that connections I thought were solid were actually quite superficial, maybe even fake. It forced me to see that some relationships were just extra baggage I'd been carrying. While there was a twinge of sadness in letting go of those expectations, there was also immense clarity and relief. It felt like clearing out clutter. This whole experience became an unintentional, but ultimately very healthy, filter. It taught me where to invest my limited emotional energy, in the authentic connections, the people who showed up, the ones who truly deserved a place in my life. The overwhelming feeling, in the end, wasn't loss, but a profound gratitude for the power of genuine human connections, the irreplaceable strength found in knowing, truly knowing, who walks beside you. Having a team in your corner is an incredible source of strength. It's a reminder that no one has to walk this path alone. But for those who love us, one of the hardest and most heartfelt questions is, what can I actually do? They have the desire to help, but often lack the playbook. Join me this coming Monday as we explore the answer in our next chapter, how friends and family can really help. If this story feels important, sharing it with someone who might need it would mean the world. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what comes next. And for the complete journey, you can always find the link to the full book in the description below.